Are you planning a bridal shower, or do you have a friend who is wedding? Don't be stranded. I'm a professional counselor that helps ladies as they transit from singlehood to become a wife. Kindly reach out through my contact below. My name is Rechael Mbugwa. Welcome to Heart Clinic. Subscribe and let's connect. On our next topic, today we are looking at hygiene and cleanliness. And as I so said in this, we will look at infections, causes, treatment, prevention. Now, when you're looking at hygiene, we are looking at first, where does hygiene and honeymoon come in? Let me first explain. Intercourse introduces foreign bodies into your private part, especially for you as a lady. And this area is an area that has not been tampered with, an area that has not been intruded by foreign bodies. So believe you me, you will have some reaction, because whether it's semen that will be poured into you or it is just a shave cut, you had a bruise out of a shave, and some foreign bodies were introduced into that cut, that's an infection. It causes infection. So the likelihood of getting an infection because you're a newly married or you're in marriage because you're engaging in intercourse becomes higher than you had ever experienced, that you had ever anticipated before. So we cannot fail to talk about hygiene and cleanliness. Hygiene and cleanliness, in this we say what could cause this? Mostly they are caused by the grooming. Grooming by mean, if you do shave, when you're shaving, you had a cut or you had a bruise. That causes an incubation of some bacteria. Waxing. When you're waxing, you had some bruise and you do not have like a proper treatment in terms of that prevent them from getting an infection. You had a tear during the waxing. And washing your private part using a detergent. Some will be caused by nails. Like gentlemen, when you're having long nails and you're caressing the private parts, at times you may bruise because it's a sensitive area. So we encourage the hygiene of those nails. The shorter they are, the better, especially for the partner, because the more you have long nails and they are dirty, if they bruise, then you cause a wound. A wound gets bacteria. Bacteria causes an infection. An infection causes one to be sick. So I've addressed especially what are the causes of infection, especially during honeymoon or during intercourse in this particular area. Mostly it's because of grooming, cleanliness, and hygiene. The last one, I will talk about the mouth. If you plan to use your mouth during intercourse, it is important that you ensure that your tongue is clean, your mouth is well done. Imagine you've just from eating fish and maybe with ugari, or you're from eating chips and chicken. Of course, the residue are left on your tongue, on your mouth, around. How then do you put your mouth? You're assuming you don't do what I'm talking about. Yes. So if you're planning to use your mouth during intercourse, just ensure that your mouth, your tongue are clean, lest the residue are left in the other person's private part, resulting to an infection. It is important to note detergents that you use, make sure they're safe for the vaginal area. If you choose to use a shaver or a shaver gel, ensure it is safe or it's prescribed safe to use on a private part. Else it will cause an agitation that will cause itchiness that will result to an infection, and so on and so on. So it is important you also check whatever product you're using, are they suitable to be used for private parts or vaginal area, especially because it's an open kind of a part. 2, types of infection. There are so many types of infection. I may not delve into that because 1, I'm not a medic. 2, I may not be able to tell you this infection is treated in this way. So we will only mention 2, that is yeast and bacterial. Yeast infection and bacterial, just for now. If you want to know more, please search or talk to your gyna and they will be able to take you through different types of infection. Are they treatable? Actually, they are. Yes, they are. And most of this treatment, I will not do a homemade treatment remedy. I'll ask you to visit your gyna. Because if I do a homemade remedy, I don't know whether you understand the difference between a yeast and difference between a bacteria and any other kind of an infection that you may be going through. But there's no shame in seeking treatment. Ladies, there's no shame in seeking treatment. Just go and get checked. How will you know that you're having an infection? Itchiness with around your private part. You have a lot of itchiness around your private part. It's important you go get checked. If you have a discharge, there is a normal discharge which is clear, light, but the abnormal discharge is creamy, yellowish, and has some smell. So if you realize that is what you're experiencing, please reach out and get to see a gyna that you get your remedy, because they will be able to determine what kind of infection is this. The third one is when you're urinating, if you experience some pain when urinating, some itchiness because of urinating, those are signs of an infection. It's also important you reach out to your gyna for treatment. So we mentioned that different types of infection, different type of causes that infection. The treatment is just to go to the hospital and get treatment. And how then do you prevent? How you prevent this is, one, when you're waxing or when you're grooming yourself, that you take care of yourself after. Let's take, for example, the people that go to have their beard shaved. After shaving, there is something that are normally applied, anti-disinfectant, that helps them that wherever there was a bruise, they will be able to clean it up by that. So it's also important after shaving, you have a disinfectant applied on the skin, that in case there is any kind of bruise, you'll be able to get it cleaned up by that disinfectant. Different types of disinfectant, I'll leave that to talk to your gyna, because I may not recommend a specific brand for you, else it has a reaction in you. Other way you can prevent this is maintaining hygiene. That actually after intercourse, before intercourse, you are very clean. Both cleanliness of your mouth, both cleanliness of your body, a holistic cleanliness of your nails, short nails, that you avoid those breathing. The other thing is use of lubricant. If your body is not excreting or it's not removing the lubricant in your body, it's important that you allow yourself to use a lubricant. Some lubricant will have some itchy effect or side effect. It's also important that you get to know what works for your body. Else, the itchiness causes an infection because you didn't know what kind of a lubricant works for you. At times you wonder, then how will I know what works for me? See your gyna, ma'am. Just see your gyna. Yes, they will help you in all this, getting to know. So the use of lubricant or lack of use of lubricant, and yet your body is not producing a lubricant on its own, causes bruises. And those bruises is what, if they're affected or they tampered with bacteria, an infection is caused. So to prevent it, man, just use a lubricant. But also you need to know what kind of a lubricant we are referring to. So far, so good. Keep in check. That is all for today. My name is Rechael Mbugwa, helping them to get to understand what should they prepare for in marriage. Till next time.